First, take the fabric item on the floor there. The towel? Why? Oh well, you're the boss. You capture log the towel. What now? Do as the purple text says. To the balcony. John makes his way to the balcony, per your awkwardly worded request. Wait, take that blue wobbly thing. You whimsically decide to capture log the totem, which was used to create the apple tree earlier. John, recycle the grist, as was dictated by your cohort. John cannot do anything with the grist as of this moment. That is up to the spur player. I see. Yes, this will suffice. Rose deletes the perfectly generic objects. 6 units of build grist are restored to your grist cache. Rose expends the grist to drag a new plank from the balcony in the direction of the PDA. John runs swiftly across precarious platform. John isn't sure about that. It's a really long way down. Boy, I said make haste on the narrow catwalk. John is very nervous about the idea, and the strident tone of your commands is starting to make him a little upset. Fine. Proceed as your level of comfort dictates. You cautiously walk within the range of the PDA. Rose retrieves it. Now, take it. You grab the PDA, launching one of the Harlequin figurines into the night. You can kiss that one goodbye. Just one == arrow command will suffice, thank you. It looks like you're not the only one trying to locate your father after the disaster. Fedora Freak. Thank you all. Report. Most hats are moved from danger. Ties next. Well-pressed attire says, Fedora Freak, you are in our thoughts, along with Pipefan 413 and his enviable collection of pipes. Office Urchin 1280. Good luck, Fedora Freak. Salvage as many hats as is practical. Fedora Freak. Neighboring house struck by flaming projectile. In light of fire hazard, evacuating house of all expensive garments. Grayslack 66. Pipefan 413. Status of health/wardrobe. Well-pressed attire. Submitting inquiry of concern over cataclysmic event. Pipefan 413. Please reply. These boring men are uninteresting. There we go. Pastor Chum is where it's at. John, are you okay? You seem a bit tentative. I'm fine, I guess. Since I got here, I feel compelled to do these weird things I don't really want to do, by some kind of voice that I can't even really hear. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. Perhaps the early symptoms of an anxiety disorder, like post-traumatic stress? Yeah, maybe, who knows? Well, if you can pull yourself together, there are a few more things we should try, like prototyping the kernel sprite again, if possible. We should hurry. My laptop battery won't last forever. Okay, I will go back inside. No, don't do that. Hop off this ledge onto that car. What? No, that sounds incredibly dangerous. Forward, 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 forward. Now you're just being a pest. Which turnip truck did you just tumble out of anyway? Who are you? Well, years in the future, but not many. An unsealed tunnel welcomes hot desert air into its stagnant depths. Down, down, down. Boy. You there. Boy. An examination of the basics by Tentacle Therapist. Winnie the Pooh 2, Chaos Demon, and Sanctuary Remix. Upon connecting with the client user, you, the server user, will be met with a control panel allowing you to manipulate your co-player's environment. You will find that you are allowed to deploy 4 items at no expense. 3 of these are rather large machines, and 1 is a small punch card. It's quite possible that you have already deployed some of these items before reading this. If this is the case, and you have activated the machine called the DraxxKraven, such that it displays a countdown, you must proceed to section A100 of this walkthrough immediately. The life of the client user depends on it, and if your co-player has activated this device in your environment too, then yours does as well. But if not, please refrain from doing anything with the DraxxKraven aside from merely deploying it. This will buy us some time to think things through properly. And to go over the basics of the game before you find your soft, easily punctured head in the jaws of a lion. As mentioned, there are 4 items to consider, each playing a role in a process which appears to have a singular purpose, to manufacture objects out of thin air. The designers of the game, judging by the language used, regard this process as a sort of alchemy. This may allude to complexities in the production process yet to present themselves, but for now, the variety of objects you're able to create remains quite limited. The items in question are the DraxxKraven, again, tread lightly with this one, the totem lathe, the alchemeter, and the pre-punched card. I will describe how these devices work in conjunction with each other, and I will use the analogy of having a key made at a hardware store to help you understand. First, deploy all of these objects in convenient proximity to each other. Be sure not to block doors or pathways with them. You can always revise the dimensions of the rooms to make space for them, but I'd advise against this, or even experimenting with the function. Doing so comes at the expense of build grist, a commodity which appears to be at a premium on the onset, and one you'd be best advised to save for later. The DraxxKraven. Removing the lid signals the moment your life becomes a great whirling batshit pandemonium, somewhat resembling the chaos of an especially ethnic wedding. Somewhere, a soused uncle deliberately shatters china on the floor. Muddy livestock is decorated, and then lost track of. The question, whose mule is this, at times can be heard over the din. Now, this is your reality. But aside from that, it marks the beginning of the process I am about to describe. The countdown begins. Yes, also an entity called the kernel sprite is released, but neither of these things are all that relevant to this process, to my knowledge. More on these things later. What is relevant is the unlidded DraxxKraven's ability to dispense Cruxite dowels. It will dispense at least one, though I suspect it is capable of producing more, given parameters I'm not yet familiar with. In my key-making analogy, these dowels represent the uncarved pieces of metal, which the hardware store employee retrieves from a drawer or a rack, and sets about carving into a key. The two following items are needed to do the carving. The pre-punched card. It is a simple Siladex card containing an item. There is evidence to suggest the specific item it contains is variable from session to session. The card I deployed contained a blue apple. Yours may be different. It shouldn't matter, hopefully. Additionally, this card, as you may guess, is punched, like one used with antique computing systems. The pattern of holes comprises data, which I believe corresponds to the instructions for creating the item the card contains. That it is pre-punched suggests there is a way to punch an unpunched card, possibly imprinting it with the data for the item it contains, though no mechanism for this has presented itself yet. But the data on the card cannot be used to create the item directly. There is a middleman. The middleman is the totem lathe. This is essentially the key carving machine. It will carve your Cruxite dowel in a pattern of grooves and contours, the sort of which makes a key unique. The instructions for this pattern are supplied by the punch card, which is inserted into the lathe pre-activation to configure its chisels. Once the dowel is carved, you have a totem serving as your key, which can then be used to unlock the card item through the alchemeter. But at this point, I will diverge from my key-making analogy and switch to a barcode analogy, which is not a terribly strenuous leap to make, since the concepts of a key and a barcode are essentially the same, one being a unique pattern of grooves, the other varying black lines. The alchemeter. If you place a Cruxite dowel, carved or uncarved, on the alchemeter's small pedestal, its robotic arm will scan the contours with a laser, hence the barcode analogy. This is the machine's way of reading the data originally imprinted from the card, and transforming that data into a physical object. Though, typically, this is not done without expense, I believe. An uncarved dowel results in the creation of a perfectly generic object, which is a seemingly useless green cube. It costs 2 units of build grist to make, and I do not advise you to waste resources on it. There appears to be many other varieties of grist, ostensibly used in combinations to create different sorts of items, which possibly offers some insight into the game's use of the term alchemy. But, quite conveniently, there is an exception to this. Creating the item on the pre-punched card costs nothing. This is good, because creating this item turns out to be essential. Now that you know this, you can, in your own time, begin the process. Once you initiate it, naturally, there is no going back. So, best to be prepared, but you should probably shouldn't drag your feet too long. As I mentioned earlier, this is your only means of escape. When you're ready, be prepared to follow the steps in the next session swiftly. A100. So your DraxxKraven is ticking. Do this to live. Oh, it appears the storm has gotten worse. In the distance, meteorites fall with greater frequency. The fire in the forest burns so hot, not even the rain is putting it out. Rose, check status of battery. Not good. Your laptop battery is alright for now, but it won't last long. If the power in the house doesn't come back on, you can think of one last resort. The small backup generator stored behind the mausoleum. Rose, prototype sprite with Betty Crocker box. What? Oh man, you're gonna use that? That sucks. What a stupid idea. We have to hurry along. I'm running low on battery power. But the cake mix, that's so dumb. I doubt it matters. We might as well just use any old crap lying around. Fine, I guess. The sprite is playing hard to get. You guessed that's what you get for originally prototyping it with something that engenders mischief and pranksterism. Do the potted plant vegetable instead. It looks delicious. Pipe down. Pipe down, you. This is Rose's decision, not yours. Rose, prototype sprite with Sassacre text. Oh yes, sweet, now we're talking. See if you can distract it. I'll try to sneak up on it. John, flail about in a distracting manner. The sprite finds the distracting manner in which you flail about to be rather distracting. The pesky sprite eludes you again. Not even the great Colonel himself can outfox it. In narrowly missing with your attempt to create the Colonel sprite, you drop the massive Colonel sprite. You drop the massive tome. The entire house rattles under the astonishing girth of the book. In the other room, Nana's ashes dump onto the sprite, which is caught unawares by the dousing. Inspect Hag Ash Incident. You find the sacred urn toppled again. This time you're quite sure it wasn't your fault. The sprite's nowhere to be found. Rose, remove Cruxtruder from doorway. Aw man, where did it go? I can't find it anywhere in the house. No time to worry about it. The next thing we should do is get your server copy of the game from the car. You need to connect to my client so I can repeat your steps and presumably join you wherever you are. We should do this quickly before my house burns down. What, there's a fire? There will be soon. Oh geez, just move this thing already. It looks like it requires a lot of grist to move. I don't have enough to relocate the door either. How much do you have? 0. Oh, I thought about jumping to the car from the ledge earlier. That sounds really dangerous. I have a better idea. Meet me upstairs. Do again, as the purple words say. You were about to head upstairs, but you thought you heard something behind you. It was faint, but you could swear it was a small, light-hearted chuckle along the lines of a spirited hoo-hoo-hoo. Ignore this woman's antics. You're not sure you even saw a woman, let alone any of her hypothetical antics, but whatever it was, you might have caught a glimpse of it. It sure gave you the willies. You head upstairs on your way to the balcony. Your PDA is acting up again. Indulge the device, but be curt with it. Hey bro, check it out. I'm working on some new rhymes. Dude, I don't have time for a nerdy rap. Come on, this is Hells of Ill. Just listen, man. It sounds like you don't even believe me when I say when you say that I was about to get blown up, but I really was. Now I'm in some weird dimension that Spurb sent me to or something. And now on top of that, I think I'm being haunted by my dead grandma. Huh. For real? Yeah, it's true, but I'll talk to you about it later. I think I could drop some sick rhymes about all this, actually. Man, see, I just don't think all this rapping stuff is really as cool as you think it is. No, this will be dope. Check it. No, I have to go. Bye. Wait. Armageddon's getting waged on us, but I'm getting armed and dangerous, sending men in space for saving us. See which player's more courageous. Ben or Bruce, dudes reaching a truce, put their blow shoots to use and up, suck it. Afflick sacrifice, would have to suffice, fluck it. Bro be a stained glass saint up on a cross getting hella Christ plagiarous. Bruce is like off of that crucifix, enough of this fucking savior fuss. Restrained his ass per McLean Redux while Buscemi remained derangerous. When a plan gone astray pays off a wasted craterus. Ashtray cater into layers of Matt McConaughey's vague remainder dust. Wait, McConaughey wasn't even in one of these meteor movies, was he? I'll have to make a rap about, I don't know, Morgan Freeman or something, being the president. It'll be called Obama Made It So That No One Gives a Shit About Black Presidents in Movies Anymore. So, you gotta fill me in on what's going on, so I have something to rap about besides all your dumb shit movies. Enough strange poetry from the red text. You head out to the balcony to find out what Rose has in mind. She's messaging you again. The purple text is less irrational than the red text. I'm lifting the car up to the balcony. Whoa, okay. Once it's up, retrieve the game. Then I'll put it back down in the driveway. But the door is locked. Then break a window. But it's my dad's car. It's just a window, and this is the sort of an emergency. Otherwise, I promise I'll handle the car with velvet gloves. All right. Rose, pick up the car. Oh, fuck. Connection lost. Ridiculous folly. Inexcusable. You're inclined to agree, but hey, accidents happen. You double-check your PDA to make sure if Rose is really gone. Indeed, this seems to be the case. TG is still pestering you, of course, but another chum is now logged in as well. What color are the words that this chum says? I'm back. Oh, hi. I went to investigate the explosion I heard. Was it by any chance a meteor? Yes. How did you know? Oh man, it's kind of a long story. Anyway, are you okay? Did it blow up your yard and start a fire or anything? No, I'm fine. It landed a pretty good ways from my house, and I went to look at it, and it's pretty big. But Beck doesn't want me to go near it, so I came home. He seems to think it's dangerous. Well, gosh, he's probably right. Anyway, what have you been up to, John? Oh, did you get my package yet? Yeah, I was trying to get it, but Rose dropped my car into a weird, spooky, bottomless pit, and the package was in the car, and I'm really sorry about that. Oh, no! Wow, okay, I guess I should start at the beginning. See, a meteor blew up my neighborhood. That's terrible, John. I'm so sorry. But I'm okay. And my house is, too, sort of. That game I was telling you about, Spurb, which I was playing with Rose, sort of transported me somewhere at the last minute, but now I'm trapped here. It's weird and dark, and I can't find my dad, and I just lost the car and my copy of the game in the pit. I think I have to save the world from the apocalypse. Whew. Well, it sounds really crazy and kind of scary, but it also sounds kind of exciting? I don't know, John. Maybe this is your destiny. If anyone can save the world, I think it is probably you. Wow, you think so? Yes. Well, okay, but it's not even that simple. I was about to connect to Rose to help transport her and save her from meteors and fire and stuff, but she lost battery power and I lost the game disc. So I think I have to get TG to use his copy to save her, but that jackass won't shut up and stop rapping and stuff. He's so silly. Yeah, anyway, I should talk to him about it, so I'll be right back. The green text was attractive. Now view the red text again. Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy fucking shit. Fuck.